Hi everyone, it's Margaret here to share my latest journal project. This is called Here Comes the Bride. Now I've been wanting to do a wedding book for a long time, and I finally gathered up a lot of my vintage laces and appliques, which were taken mostly from old wedding dresses. And I've come up with this beautiful bridal journal. And as you can see, the cover features a beautiful vintage bride. And on this particular one, on the cover, again, I've stuffed the photo to give it some texture and dimension. But I have embroidered some of the areas with some silver thread to give it a little bit of sparkle. The headpiece and some of the other areas of her dress. And then in some areas, I even used a little bit of the sparkle glaze to give it a little bit more shine. Now, as you can see, the total picture in the center is circled with different snippets of this gorgeous appliques. And again, you can see some of the pearls, the roses, and then I've added some pearls on each of these leaves and flowers to give it a little bit more prettiness. And on the sides, I've used this gorgeous, I love this lace. It's one of my favorite laces of all time. It's very different, and I took this off a wedding dress. And then underneath it, it's got this other vintage ruffle lace. And again, this came off, I believe this was a christening gown actually. And I used it in ruffles for the bottom. And then on the corner, I added this other piece of wedding dress applique in the beautiful pearls to create a corner. Some little dangle pearls here. And the base of the journal was actually all done in this beautiful wedding dress fabric with the appliques. And then the base of it was a ivory Dupioni silk. So it is all silk. And again, a lot of this journal was hand stitched. My fingers are sore. And I tell you, although a lot of it was stitched, I got the worst glue gun burn that I ever had on my finger, and it's just healing now. But anyway, that's another story. And with that same silk material, I created this this little ruffle on the center, and then I put the rhinestone trim right down the center, made a little bow accent for the bottom, and then I continued the silk ruffle all the way up to the spine. And then the spine is basically this beautiful oval ruffle in this vintage lace. And then I put a little bit of tulle. I made this little ribbon rose in the same silk fabric and added this gorgeous pearl and rhinestone brooch in the center. So that's the spine. And there you have the cover. Now the first page, again, it's a beautiful vintage bride, and she is gorgeous. And I've again used a little bit of silver thread to embroider her crown area. And again, using ruffles of different types of vintage laces. This is another beautiful lace, again, very unique. And I just layered the different types of lace on top of each other. This again was from a wedding dress, and I used that at the top and bottom to create a frame for this picture. And then this particular cutout was sent to me by Va, and it is also from a wedding dress, and I've used that in the corner. And then I've just added some pearls and embellishments. And this particular fringe trim adds a little bit of satiny look to it, but it's really different. And this came off a lady's sweater, actually. So there are some elements that are new, but they're predominantly all vintage laces used in this book. The next page is, again, beautiful vintage bride. And she is surrounded by, again, different vintage laces. These particular laces here, I took this off a vintage negligee, believe it or not, and I repeated it at the bottom. And as you can see, it even has a little bit of ruching with the lace. So I created a little layer of ruffle at the bottom for that. And then what I did was I took a piece of the same lace and created like a little handkerchief, added a little bit of tulle inside for some dimension. I just stuffed it with tulle and I wrapped the picture around it. And it's really different. I really like the way that turned out. I wanted to try something a little bit different. And then on the bottom, it's got the beautiful beaded applique with a handmade silk rose again. And then I just finished the edges with little snippets and pieces of the fabric applique and the same lace up here. And each scallop in this, or every second scallop, I added an applique flower to it, again for a little bit of sparkle. And that's that page. The next page, I used predominantly the same type of applique on this one from a wedding dress again, and I just layered and layered and layered it to create a frame around this beautiful vintage bride. And then I just layered flowers on top of each other on this particular side and used a little bling brooch at the bottom here for a little bit of sparkle. And what I did on these two pages actually is I created a border out of satin. I wanted it to be a nice clean line all the way around, so I made this satin border, which I edged the sides and the bottom, and then worked on top of that. Now the center of the spine is this beautiful ribbon, embroidered ribbon applique that I used here. And then I put the little covered buttons in keeping with the wedding dress theme here. And this other picture here, again, another gorgeous bride. I repeated ruffles of that same gorgeous lace on the corner and then used this beautiful pieces of appliques on top of each other with some little pearl doodads. And these were sent to me by Va again, so I embellished the page using those. And at the very bottom of these two pages, I used this beautiful lace again, but what I did with every rose at the bottom, I put another applique flower on the top, so they actually stick out a little bit, and they've got pearls, and it adds a little bit of prettiness to the bottom of these two pages. So there you've got that center of the book, the two pages there. The next page, so I usually do either a flower page or some type of thing to do with flowers, but here I decided I was going to do a bouquet. So every bride needs a bouquet, and I used again this beautiful vintage lace on the bottom. Just used the base fabric, wedding dress fabric here, just layered a little bit more of the same flowers on top of each other. But then I made this little bouquet using some silk fabric. I created the base, wrapped it in some ribbon, put a little brooch on it, little pearls hanging, and then I used some, I had these flowers in my stash, and I made a little bouquet and just created a little bouquet page for the bride. And that's that page. Finally, the pocket page. Again, this gorgeous lace that I used. I made the pocket out of the same silk. Again, this is all silk. And I created the pocket, kept this page simple, just put a little bow in the corner with a little beaded dangle that I made. And this page is special because, again, every bride needs a little something special, and I put a little rhinestone tiara in the pocket, and boy does that sparkle. I just love it. So that goes in the pocket here, and she's all ready to go. So this is the back again. I'll show it to you with the ruffles. Very pretty, very detailed. And again, a lot of this was hand stitched, and the reason why I had to hand stitch is because a lot of the laces are very fine, so I did not want to use glue to put them on. I actually hand stitched all the ruffles and a lot of the different appliques. The heavier appliques were fine to glue, but anything fine, even the ruffle here, was all hand stitched on. So anyway, I hope you like that. I really had a ball making this because I love anything to do with weddings. I love wedding dresses. I love lace and ruffles. So I had an absolute ball making this. And of course, something like this would make a beautiful bridal gift, a shower gift, and it becomes a beautiful wedding heirloom piece. So hope you like it, and I thank you for watching and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.